conversation. So anyway, KOTOR, Embracer Group, we went off on a tangent there. So given that this update is on the table now, how does it make you feel? Because I'm still not confident in the product. Like,
Well,
especially
did you
with switching studios.
so did you hear that they had confirmed that the storyline isn't changing?
The storyline isn't changing.
Some
they're
of the
adding
characters
to the
are going to
storyline.
change, right?
Yeah, they're adding to the. They're going to add more missions to the game. Is what we were told. Because honestly, if you're going to change the way the game plays, keep the storyline the same, it'll be a shorter experience simply because of. I'm assuming they're going to update the combat the way Final Fantasy did.
I would assume so. My assumption with all of this is that it's going like the reason why it's taking so long is because they're trying to get the story right. I would assume like they have to make sure that it all works, and there's a lot there's a lot resting on this game being the first actual real canon implementation of the Old Republic.
Just about to say that I don't think it's going to be canon now that they said they're not changing the story.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Oh, Kevin, no. You think this is going to be like a legend story?
Yep, I don't. If they're not changing the story and they're just adding to it, I don't think it's going to be canon.
I think that's a terrible idea.
You could easily make it canon because it's so far in the past, but then you have to set precedents for all sorts of things that would come in the future. So we'd really have to kind of, dive into it. But I would assume, and part of the rumors that I saw back this up was that the original deal with Aspire, is that it?
Yeah.
Was remake KOTOR 1, remake KOTOR 2, finally release the DLC for the original KOTOR 2, and then have that be part of the KOTOR 2 remake, and then they were going to be allowed to make KOTOR 3. That was the original deal that Aspire had. So I don't know if those terms passed to this company.
Yeah.
That was what was on the table. Now we already know that the Aspire KOTOR 2, which is like 97% of the reason that I bought it and played it, was that they were going to release the DLC that was unreleased many years ago.
You had to like buy like mods and stuff for, or like download mods and stuff for, right?
Yep. That's canceled. That was Aspire though. That wasn't.
See, like man, this is gonna start getting confusing as to like what's like they're really gonna have to like do a good job of saying like this isn't canon. We were talking about it yesterday too. We were talking about Eclipse, and the one thing that like I'm struggling with Eclipse is how is that gonna be like an actual canon High Republic story if it's gonna be done by Quantic Dreams, if it's just like Detroit's Become Human, there's like 45 different endings to that game. So like how is that going to be considered a canon story?
There's always a canon version of the story, the same way they did with KOTOR 1.
Do you think
KOTOR
it's just
2.
going to be like you play all the way through and then you could play a different, like a new game plus where all your decisions matter?
Yeah, for instance, Revan was a dude,
right?
That we understand, and he balanced between light and dark on his journey. But a lot of the stuff you see in SWTOR when they talk about Revan, even though Revan is in SWTOR, before you meet him, a lot of it is like, we don't know much about him, comments like that. There's rumors that he was light, dark, things like that to throw you off the path. For KOTOR 2, and she is also in SWTOR, the Wound in the Force, the character you play, is female. Her name is Mitra Surik. That's the canon version of the story. So there's always a canon version of the story. They just let you have fun with the story.